Hey guys, Ian Lauer here, and today I want to talk to you about optimism. Now look, I know that a lot of people have had a tough time these last couple of years. But on the flip side, many people have flourished. And what's the difference? Well, there are a lot of factors that go into it, but one big factor is the mindset, right? And if someone has the right mindset, they're much more likely to be successful than someone that doesn't. And what is that right mindset? Well, I believe it's a mindset of optimism. Now, optimists, they expect great things out of the world, but not just from the world. They expect great things out of themselves. They expect to put the work in and get the results. On the flip side, you take a pessimist. They expect horrible things from the world. They expect bad things out of themselves. And frequently, they get both. So I don't know about you, but I know which side I want to be on. I want those great results. I want to have the mindset that's going to help me succeed. Now, I don't want to get too religious with you today, but you probably have heard of the serenity prayer. And basically, it boils down to paraphrase it basically tells you, look, there are things you can control, things you can't control. You need to understand the difference. But go after and work on those things you can control. And that's what I want to talk to you today about and help you focus on when it comes to cultivating that mindset of optimism. So, let's say you just started at a new job. You've been there one day, and you want to become the president of the company in 1 week. Well, that's outside of your control. You can't do anything in 1 week to go from first day on the job to the president. It just doesn't happen. On the flip side, though, there are things you can control. You can control being to work on time or early. You can control working hard at work. You can control asking questions of your superiors or the boss and saying, what can I do to be of more value to the company? And those are the steps you take to actually achieve. And those are all things that you can control. Now, another example would be, let's say, martial arts, right? Now, if you've seen my previous videos, you know I love working out in martial arts. Well, so to say you're going to win a fight, and that's everything that makes you happy is based on winning that fight. Well, it may or may not happen that way. But if your goal is to learn a martial art, well, you can control showing up to the dojo. You can control practicing at home. You can control working in your techniques and your katas. And you can control showing up for sparring. These are all things you can control. So if you base your happiness, your mindset is built around doing those things, and you know that every time you show up and put the work in, you are succeeding, it gives you a feeling of satisfaction, then that is the right mindset to continue to achieve. Now, again, in the fight, things are outside of your control, and if your whole being is based on winning that singular fight, I hope you win it. You probably will if you put that much work in, but that's outside of your control. Just like the business example, right? If your whole idea of success and the reason you're an optimist is to be the CEO in 1 week, it's outside of your control. You're likely to meet disappointment because then you're a dreamer. You're not even an optimist. You're way out there. So I say all of that to say when you are working to accomplish great goals, think about the bite-sized steps. Focus on succeeding in those. Those are the things in which you can take control. So again, like in the martial arts, you can control showing up. And if it's another step, another check on the blackboard there, like, hey, I made it, I did a good job today, I'm moving along. That's what you need to do in the martial arts. If it's work, then if it's showing up 10 minutes early or 15 minutes early, it's talking to the boss and asking questions about how to be more valuable. If it's weight training, so for instance, I had a little strain in the pec yesterday. It set me back. But today, I went in and I continued on my strength gaining routine in other lifts. So for instance, today was deadlifting day. And I've just been working to build my strength back up, right? And it's been a good 4 to 6 weeks, and I had great progression. And yesterday was a real downer. I gave it my all and had a little tweak. Instead of pushing past it and damaging myself and setting myself back months or years if I had a major tear, I just racked it, said, okay, that's outside of my control today, okay? And then focused on the next step of the lift. So today was a deadlift day and back day, and I went up 20 pounds from last week, and it's continuing to progress. So that's another example of even doing things the right way, there will be the occasional setback, and you have to redirect, reboot, if you will, and continue forward, and have that mindset of knowing, like, look, I'm going to control the things I can control. Some of those may be outside of my control, and I realize that after the fact, and I'll redirect and find those things I can control. So like when I go back to do chest next week, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to keep going forward, because that heavy barbell bench is outside of my control right now, but I'm going to regroup and come at it another way. So, all of that to say, if you want to achieve great things, you are much more likely if you have an attitude of optimism rather than pessimism. And to establish a strong and lasting attitude of optimism, it's best, in my opinion, to focus on those things that you can control, those small bite-sized steps. And coincidentally, you're creating a plan, which makes you more likely to achieve your success anyway. So that's what I want to challenge you to do, is to look at those big, lofty goals that are always out there, but base your attitude and your mindset on the small steps, the things that are within your control. I mean, and if it's for fitness, that's eating right, that's going to the gym, that's doing cardio, that's taking quality supplements, all of the things, getting lots of good sleep, drinking plenty of water. These are things you can control. And whether or not you lose that final pound today or tomorrow, or you put on that extra pound of muscle today or tomorrow, it's all about the progress and the steps and those things you can control. And when you start taking control of all those little things that you actually have power over, you're going to be amazed at the attitude shift and how much of an optimist you become.